3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
You can pass on a nugget or two to a young woman who's interested in a career in water treatment.
You belong. You belong here. This industry is very rewarding, and to be confident.
Well, Stephanie, it's great to have you on here. Just got a couple questions for you about Women of Water. So first off, what is Women of Water all about? Who are you? Why do you exist? What's your story?
Let me just tell you the story, Chris. So how did I get into the Women of Water? In 2010, it was my first year actually at the AWT convention that was in Reno, Nevada. And I was new to a new company, new industry, and I quickly noticed in my first hours at this convention that I think I was like one of maybe 10 women. And that night there was a dinner reception, and Pam Simmons came over, sat next to me, and she introduced herself. She's now with Watson Marlowe. And she just kind of mentioned, hey, we've got this group called Women of Water. It was nothing really serious. It was more of like a social network kind of group for the ladies. And she told me about it, and she was like, Steph, are you interested in maybe doing this? And shortly after this conference, we became really good friends, and we started partnering together to make this more of an organized effort. So at every AWT we were at thereafter, we started to make it more of a structured reception for the ladies to come in and like meet each other.
Excellent. So that's how you got involved. So tell me, how has Women of Water evolved since Reno circa 2010?
Yes.
14,
so it's
15,
been a lot of years. And we actually were just officially recognized this last year at the AWD conference as an official committee. So basically, just to give you a little background too on AWT as a whole, the Association of Water Technologies is an international organization that represents over 500 companies that specialize in applying water treatment for industrial, commercial cooling and heating systems. Within that, there are committees, and the Women of Water is now one of them. And really what we are trying to achieve in this inclusive group is to really support women to grow their knowledge, their skill set, as well as encourage them to pursue leadership roles in AWT as well as in their own industry of their business. And then just creating a sense of belonging to AWT as well as the industry itself.
Excellent. So tell me about, how is it being a woman in the water treatment space for the last 15 years for you, right? Starting with Reno, tell me how you've seen women penetrate or not in the water treatment space, which is traditionally, I would dare say, a male-dominated space, like most things in the chemical space are.
Absolutely.
So how has it been for you? What have you seen in the last 15 years?
From what I've seen in the last 15 years, it's grown definitely from the one of 10 that I felt I was, in 2010. Our first official meeting yesterday was with the Women of Water, and the community that joined was almost 30 of us, and that's just a little piece still. So we're still a minority, but what I've seen, Chris, in the last, 16 years since I've been doing this, or 14 years with AWT, is, just the amount of women that are getting involved. Just like, in my previous life, I was in education and I was in science, just seeing the efforts being focused on STEM, women, us being involved, as well as the community of men that have already been there that are supporting us, taking us underneath their wings, getting us in front of, other people, just like, my manager, Chad Brown. I mean, he's done a tremendous job just in my career here at Buckman Digital Water, but also being a part of the Women of Water committee that we are now doing monthly.
Yes, Chad's a good man for sure. So what is one piece of advice, if you could pass on a nugget or two to a young woman or a school-aged child, a girl who maybe has a desire, or maybe is in a chemistry undergraduate program or a chemistry graduate program today in college, a young woman who's interested in a career in water treatment, what would be a thing or three you would tell her?
The first thing I would say, honestly, to a woman coming into this industry is you belong. You belong here. This industry is very rewarding, and to be confident in your abilities and knowledge, and don't let stereotypes undermine your confidence. When you're getting involved in this industry, seek out mentorship and support networks like the Women of Water, as well as other committees that are a part of AWT and anything within the industrial water treatment space. Connecting with other women in the industry can offer yourself guidance. You can share experiences, encouragement, as well as have that supportive network while embracing your own perspective and contributions, but then also not being afraid to speak up for what you believe in for yourself and others. And, we as a whole, we need to remember that diversity and inclusion are vital for innovation and progress in any industry.
I was going to comment to that. It seems as if you guys are very, very, so if I'm a younger woman who has 1 year of experience, or I just got a job as a water treater for a relatively small company in, wherever, in a small, in a relatively small territory, a small town, would I imagine I might feel a little uneasy or overwhelmed about being with somebody who, for example, is a 16-year veteran of the water treatment space like you, Stephanie, right? So, what would you, how would you encourage that young woman? Hey, you do indeed belong, because, how would you encourage her?
Honestly, yesterday when we had our meeting, it really was encouraging the women that are already there, to just go out and reach out to those ladies. Introduce yourself, be a welcoming committee, someone that is basically extending the hand, saying hello so that they're not uncomfortable to come to you. You're already going to them. And you're already introducing who you are, what you've done in the network, what your experiences are, as well as just what you're doing in the industrial water treatment space. Are you a supplier? Are you a water treater? There's a lot of people here that have a ton of knowledge, and it isn't just us ladies, it's all of you great guys too, connecting you to all the trainers, other suppliers and such. So really just, I think it's our duty to be the people that reach out to the new people.
I agree. So last question for you, Stephanie. If I were to ask you, how would you rate the fun factor of being involved generally with AWT, but more specifically with the WOW, the Women of Water? How would you rate my fun factor if I desired to, smile once in a while during my work period? How would you attract me as a young woman to your group with fun?
With fun, I mean, us ladies alone are just fun. I think in general, once you meet us, it's like, how can you not deny that? The other part is truly we've got a ton of great things. Would people associate you
with fun? Would people associate Stephanie and the leadership of Women of Water with a fun group? Why would they, or why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they, first and foremost, but why would they? We're doing a really great job in just finding things that relate to what we're already seeing in the communities, that we're working in. We just introduced a book called Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg. We're trying to make these things not necessarily fun factor, but more of a how are we relating to each other on that level, because it's across industry. Lean In is a nonprofit organization, and it's interesting to see that regardless of industry, we are all facing some of these things, and just kind of sharing that awareness. So I think that alone is going to attract the ladies, and I really hope that it attracts a lot more of you men, because you guys can create a really good example within your own organizations as well as within the association.
Well, personally, count me in with Chad Brown from Buckman, my new good buddy. I will be involved, and as well, we have a young lady working at Zenith Search Partners, Haley Giuliani, who will be involved as well. So we're very excited about that. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Definitely look forward to seeing you at AWT in Louisville later this year. And seeing what good things you and the WOW have in store for all of us at AWT. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Chris. I'm excited to see you. And please look us up too. I'm just going to do a plug really quickly. LinkedIn, AWT, Women of Water, Connect, and we will gladly accept you.
Absolutely. I've already done that. And I encourage everyone else out there in the space, everyone who's looking at this podcast, please take a minute now to go join us on LinkedIn. Join us, the Women of Water, on LinkedIn. So thanks a lot, Stephanie. We'll be talking to you soon. God bless.
Thank you, Chris.